Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend.
How are you feeling?
I still have a cold.
Are you hanging in
now
there
it's sort
a
of
little
up in
bit?
here. It's moving up and hopefully out.
Yeah. Well, this weather isn't helping,
No,
is it?
not at all.
Oh boy, how are you doing with this cold?
Not at all.
And the snow. The snow I don't mind, but the bitter cold is so hard.
And it's just so early.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the middle of November.
And this week it's going to come back with a vengeance. We'll have more on that in just a little bit.
But first, here's what's making news on this Monday. It was not a pleasant Monday morning commute for many in and around southern Wisconsin as snow covered the roads.
Wisconsin joins the rest of the country in honoring veterans with a ceremony at the state capitol.
And Verona Road construction progresses as more lanes reopen. It's hard to believe.
Let's take a look outside today. Snowy to start and then sunny this afternoon, but bitterly cold, although it is pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yep.
But we do have record cold tonight, and Dana is in the backyard bundled up.
Standing in some snow right now. We have 3.3 inches out here on the patio, and I'm sure most of you, if you are south and east of Madison, also looking at some snow. North and west, though, certainly less amounts. In Broadhead, about 5 inches. Evansville, 4 inches. Here again at the station, 3.3. The official number for Madison, though, for this event is 2.5. We did just pick up 0.3 inches right before midnight, but the daily snowfall total comes in at 2.5, so just a little less for the daily. Still, though, breaking the record for our daily accumulation. The old record, 2 inches on November 11th back in 1891. So that record has stood for some time, and it was shattered this morning. Thankfully, no snow right now. Not ruling out the chance to see some light flurries around Camp Douglas and towards the Dells this evening, but we won't certainly see any more accumulation coming through. We'll take a closer look at what does it have for the next few days with cold temperatures in just a few minutes. Right now on the roads, they've been a bit of a mess all day long. Our congestion in spots on the Beltline, a lot of side roads being pretty slick right now. Unfortunately, my traffic map, there we go, finally starting to load on up. It's showing those delays right now around Park Street and John Nolan on the Beltline. Downtown Janesville seems fine. 39 and 90 should be all nice and clear to the state line. But here's a reminder, of course, as our temperatures continue to fall overnight, that salt is going to become much less effective on the roads and on the sidewalks. So you'll definitely, if you're heading out later this evening or if you have to stay at work a little late, you'll want to give yourself plenty of time and plenty of space on the roads. It'll take you 27 minutes to get from Janesville to the Beltline, Sauk City to Middleton, 17 minutes, and Sun Prairie to downtown right now. Pretty quick 16-minute drive this evening.
All right, Dana, thank you.
And this is a look at that commute from this morning. Snow covered much of the roads in and around the Madison area, creating a traffic mess. Authorities responded to dozens of crashes this morning. After that messy commute, we're learning more about what the City Streets Division did to prepare for the snow and what they're doing now.
Now, tonight's cold could make the slippery conditions even worse. Our Amanda Quintana is out on the west side, all bundled up, and joins us with the details. Amanda?
Yes, well, the roads are not as bad right now as they were this morning, and that's because they've warmed up since this morning. So as Dana mentioned, that means that salt is able to work better now that the roads are warming up. 32 plow trucks are out. They've been out since 2 this morning when that snow started to stick. They've been salting Madison's main thoroughfares. The Streets Division says they did not pre-treat the roads with brine ahead of last night's snow because once it gets below 20 degrees, that prevents it from helping much anyway.
It was just a little too cold for it to kind of work at the application rate that we put it out at, and dumping just more and more and more salt down isn't really what we need for the environment. It may not have helped the roads that much either.
Brian Johnson says this cold paired with the snow is something they're used to seeing in December or January, but they're dealing with 2 seasons at once right now, still picking up leaves. So about an hour ago, those trucks switched to releasing sand instead of salt, and they will continue to do that until midnight tonight. Right now, they're doing it on those main thoroughfares, those busy streets that we have here in Madison, and then they're starting to hit those neighborhood streets, those side streets that are still pretty messy.
Take it easy, everybody. It's going to get even colder from here. Amanda Quintana reporting live. Amanda, thank you.
And make sure to stay updated on the weather on our First Alert Weather app. It's available free at your app store. Just do a search for News 3 Now.
An update from a story that we first brought you this weekend. Columbia Correctional Institution remains locked down after a staff member was allegedly assaulted. The lockdown began after the assault was reported on Friday. A spokesperson for corrections says 2 additional and separate staff assaults happened at the Portage prison as well. The lockdown will remain as the assault is investigated and until officials believe it is safe to lift. Madison firefighters are credited with rescuing a dog from the roof of a 3-story apartment building. Around 11:30 Friday night, a dog escaped through a window and jumped onto the roof of the building in the 100 block of North Butler Street. Firefighters used a ladder to reach the dog and bring it to safety. Veterans around the nation are being honored today for their service.
Eric Franke joining us now with how Wisconsin celebrated this Veterans Day. Eric?
Yes, but such a special day for all of our veterans. We're going to keep them in mind. Mark and Susan, millions of people all across the country are really spending the day honoring them for their service and sacrifice. This was part of a Veterans Day ceremony held this morning at the state capitol. Veterans from across the state gathering beneath the rotunda to be honored and hear from speakers, including Governor Tony Evers. The Veterans Day National Committee has declared this year's theme as service. And during the speech, the governor said he is committed to bettering the lives of Wisconsin veterans.
We are connecting the dots in every way possible so that every veteran is empowered to reach their personal or career goals and thrive in our state.
During the ceremony, 97-year-old Thomas Lucas, who has received 4 Purple Hearts during the Korean War and was a former UW-Madison athlete, was honored as well. Jamie Perez will have more on Mr. Lucas's story at 5 and 6. We'll also take a look at more events going on around the area on this Veterans Day. Mark,
Special day indeed, Eric. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Veterans Day ceremonies continued as well around the country. President Trump and the First Lady paid tribute to veterans at a soldiers' memorial in New York's Madison Square Park. The president addressed the crowd gathered for the city's 100th Veterans Day parade. He is the first commander-in-chief to kick off the annual event.
The glory of your deeds will only grow greater with time. This city is graced by your presence. This nation is forever in your debt, and we thank you all.
More than 25,000 people, including veterans and active duty military personnel, marched in the parade along Fifth Avenue. During his remarks, the president mentioned the recent U.S. takedown of the leader of ISIS, saying al-Baghdadi is dead, his second in charge is also dead, and we have our eyes on number 3.
Well, the country is about to get a first-hand look at the House impeachment inquiry, with public hearings set to begin later this week. Democrats are getting ready to lay out their case to voters that President Trump violated his oath of office in his dealings with Ukraine, while the president insists he did nothing wrong. Nicole Killian has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Trump unleashed a series of tweets pushing back on the impeachment inquiry before kicking off the Veterans Day parade in New York today.
Today we come together as one nation to salute the veterans of the United States Armed Forces.
In one, he accused Congressman Adam Schiff of releasing doctored witness transcripts and said Republicans should put out their own transcripts.
Did the State Department review your opening testimony?
Acting U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Bill Taylor will be the first witness at Wednesday's public hearing. According to his deposition released last week, he testified, "That was my clear understanding. Security assistance money would not come until the president of Ukraine committed to pursue the investigation." Republicans have submitted a list of witnesses they want to testify at the hearings, and it includes the anonymous whistleblower whose complaint triggered the impeachment inquiry. The list also includes Hunter Biden, former Vice President Joe Biden's son, who worked for the Ukrainian energy company President Trump wanted investigated.
I'm curious to know how someone who doesn't have any experience in Ukraine nor experience in a natural gas company becomes on the board of a natural gas company in Ukraine.
What information Mr. Hunter Biden, a private citizen who has broke no laws by serving on a board of directors, would have about the president's withholding of military aid to Ukraine.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said they would evaluate the list but would not allow the hearings to become a sham investigation into the Bidens or debunk conspiracy theories. Congressman Schiff says the whistleblower will not publicly testify, adding to do so would put his safety at grave risk. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The whistleblower's attorney says his client is willing to submit to written questions from Republicans.
A third northbound lane has opened on Verona Road following that major construction project. Work on the Verona Road project started in 2013, and today 3 northbound and southbound lanes are open to traffic. It's the most lanes we've seen open on Verona Road in 2 years. The objective is to improve on 3 main things: safety, efficiency, and mobility.
Much more efficient and a safer area and a corridor for all the travelers. And certainly we want to make sure that people are paying attention for any new traffic patterns and lane shifts.
The number of sidewalks and overpasses were added, a number of them were added to improve the Verona Road area for pedestrians and bikers as well. And even though the project is named after Verona Road, there are many other aspects of the project. In the last 6 years, the DOT has worked on parts of the Beltline, Raymond Road, Highway PD. And while things are wrapping up, construction season is not officially over. There are still a few more things to take care of. The official end date is sometime next year.
Oh, it's not finished yet.
Not yet.
Another year. All right, still to come at 4. It is a day to honor this country's veterans.
But for a group of volunteers in the Bronx, every day is Veterans Day. We'll find out why when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, the social media giant Instagram is expanding a controversial experiment this week that involves hiding users' likes.
The test, which has been underway in a number of other countries, is expected to start affecting users in the U.S. now, too. Friends can still press that little heart on Instagram, but only the user who posted the picture will be able to feel the love. Instagram tried out the hidden likes feature for months in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Italy, Brazil, and Japan. Instagram announced the feature was hitting stateside, adding, quote, they are looking forward to the feedback.
This is healthy for users because it does eliminate some of that tension around sharing and, measuring your self-worth against how many likes you get on a picture.
Now, Instagram influencer Kim Kardashian West agrees the move will be beneficial for people's mental health, but hip-hop artist Cardi B feels the problem isn't the likes, it's the comments, which can sometimes be very cruel.
Instagram influencer?
Yes.
I didn't know there was a thing.
We'll move over Black Friday and Cyber Monday because China's Singles Day shopping is more profitable than both U.S. spending sprees combined.
Sales in China shot through the roof when the clock struck midnight. Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba raked in $1 billion in just over 1 minute of trading. In Shanghai, Taylor Swift helped to kick off the online shopping event that the company founded. Alibaba and its rival JD.com reported nearly $60 billion in sales only partway through the 24-hour retail bonanza.
We have done a pretty good job in terms of upgrading the live streaming functions with more interactive features. So this is just fun.
A group of Chinese university students created Singles Day in the 90s as a sort of anti-Valentine's Day for people without partners. Alibaba adopted it a decade ago as a marketing tool, and it quickly evolved into the world's largest online shopping spree. Trade uncertainty pushed stocks lower on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials did manage a 10-point gain, but the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 were both lower. Well, according to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, nearly 17 former active duty members of the military take their own lives every day.
A new program, however, is helping them find reasons to live. A program through Volunteers of America called Resilience Strength Training is designed specifically for veterans. The 5-day intensive program encourages veterans to share their traumatic experiences with other veterans through storytelling, writing, and art. Army veteran Titus Battle of Brooklyn, New York, says he is finding happiness through music.
Titus, in his first group, told his own suicide attempt story. He said, I'm making a pledge today not to die by my own hand, and I'm inviting anybody who wants to join me to raise their hand, and all 5 of them raised their hands.
Resilience strength training sessions for veterans take place in Los Angeles, New York, and Washington. Experts say you don't have to have served in the military to experience moral injury. Sex assault survivors, doctors, caretakers of people living with Alzheimer's, and many others can experience this. On this Veterans Day, many communities are taking time to honor the men and women who serve our country.
Hillary Lane introduces us to a group of volunteers who make sure veterans have what they need all year long.
Go around that side.
When Wayne Reese isn't working his full-time job as a groundskeeper, he's volunteering his time, working hard to help veterans in need.
Whether it be delivering furniture to veterans or going to hotels, picking up furniture, going to people's homes who's donating furniture.
Reese is a volunteer with my brother Vinny. He's a veteran himself and was first introduced to the nonprofit when he was released from a VA hospital 5 years ago. Even with a housing stipend, he couldn't afford furniture for his new apartment. My brother Vinny supplied him with a bed and couch.
For me, it was a life changer. Like not sleeping on the floor as opposed to sleeping on a bed.
My brother Vinny is run entirely by volunteers.
Side table, dresser.
Founder and director Paula Miratello created the organization in honor of her brother Vincent, who passed away 19 years ago.
I go in someone's home and I realize that they're on the floor, and if we don't give them a bed, that will be their circumstance. I can't explain the joy I get. It's a pure joy.
Reese now helps the organization deliver furniture to other veterans like Frank Johnson.
Right up against that wall. Right.
He served in Vietnam and was living in an almost empty apartment in the Bronx.
Does it finally feel like home here?
Yes, it finally does. You know, I'm feeling very comfortable now.
Once I started volunteer, you see the joy that some of them get. It's just an awesome experience. So when you feel it, you just want to keep going and going.
Reese says it's always been his life's mission to serve our country and serve others. Hillary Lane, CBS News, the Bronx, New York.
My brother Vinny has helped over 900 veterans in the New York area and will hit the 1,000 mark early next year.
Maybe that idea can spread across the country.
Yeah, way to do something good.
Great program. Well, there's more to come at 4. Dana has the latest on some possible record-breaking temperatures, low temperatures in her first alert forecast.
And then coming up tonight at 5, hear about a new unit in the Dane County Jail designed to help Wisconsin veterans re-enter society. That's coming up tonight at 5.
Well, take a look at this. If you're out shoveling this evening, you might want to give this a try. A construction worker outside a TV station in London, Ontario, put some style into his shoveling skills. We're not sure if he's a Star Wars fan, a former color guard performer, or just a fan of swords, but he definitely has a handle on this routine, and we're told a snow shovel will work just as well.
I love that. Although
I'm guessing guard.
Eric Franke was just telling us that his shovel snapped in half this morning.
Well,
really?
Yeah.
It wasn't even that heavy, the snow.
The shovel just gave up.
Yeah, the
it's too early. I had it.
You're not supposed to to touch me till December.
Exactly.
Yep.
Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and a new survey reveals the least popular items at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
First off, the online Harris poll of more than 2,000 adults found that 68% of Americans secretly dislike a classic Thanksgiving food, yet they eat it anyway out of tradition. Here's the breakdown. 29% of people dislike cranberry sauce, but reluctantly, of course, eat it anyway. In fact, nearly half of the people polled found the quote disgusting. 24% thought the same about green bean casserole. Sweet potatoes, I don't agree with these people. 22% didn't like sweet potatoes. And then 21% don't like pumpkin pie. They don't enjoy it, but they still eat it. And 19% don't even like turkey, but they eat it anyway.
Well, what's the point?
Exactly.
I'm not a fan of the dried out classic way of eating turkey.
Oh, I love turkey.
I love it all.
Oh,
Yeah, you too. The whole works. Green bean casserole and all.
A little bit of the sweet potatoes. That's what I get most
I
excited about.
actually, I don't like sweet potatoes.
Oh, you don't?
Really?
Oh, I love it.
My South Carolina time, sweet potato pie. That's when I got hooked.
You had sweet potato fries over the weekend, I saw.
I did. They have them at Culver's right now. So that is not a plug. That's just genuine excitement.
It's fact.
It's fact. I love sweet potato fries. So Penny's all about them, too. It was pretty great.
Anything warm.
That's right.
Anything warm right now.
So
that's
weird.
wintry.
Hey, some nice pretty colors. This is what I'm talking about. We say with just a little bit of cloud coverage gives us some nice color for a sunset. Look at the cold temperatures right after the break. Now that the snow is all wrapped up and we can put a bow on it, the focus shifting over to the cold temperature settling on in. The forecast for today, 22 this afternoon. We did not get above 21, which sounds like we may have broke that low high, but alas, if you were awake just after midnight this morning, temperatures were still in the mid-20s. So officially the record low high not broken for the day. The low overnight, though, is going to continue to drop. The record is 7. And then looking ahead to our low high for tomorrow, may get close to the record for that. Not for this afternoon, but for tonight and for tomorrow afternoon. We may see those records get broken. A record cold possible tonight. Not only will the temperatures drop, but those wind chills anywhere from -5 to -15 to start off the day. So a very, very cold start early on. Tuesday, the high temperature near that record low high, again forecasting for 18, and the record low is 16. And then on Wednesday, that alert day still in the forecast as well, as the unseasonably cold weather stays with us for just one more day. We're also going to see some light snowfall come through for Wednesday. Another 1 to 2 inches of accumulation possible with those higher amounts. Really sparse throughout the area, expecting more closer to that 1 inch range, but that light snow will just mount on top of what we already have on the ground. With this wind chill factored in for tomorrow morning, we haven't really had to talk about below zero wind chills for quite some time. It really just zaps away the heat from your body. The wind chill is what it feels like to your bare skin. So when you're all bundled up, of course it doesn't feel that chilly outside, but if you're walking outside for whatever reason in a t-shirt, that's how cold it's going to feel on your skin. Of course, it's only felt by living things. We don't give wind chills to trees or rocks outside. They have their own temperatures. And that wind chill, of course, can cause frostbite 30 minutes at -18, 10 minutes at -32, and just 5 minutes at 48 below zero. We've already done that big cold snap for the year back in January. We're just going to try to avoid that for the rest of 2019 if we can. Overnight, our skies are going to become mostly clear. Later this evening, there's a slight chance to pick up another flurry or two, but it's not going to add anything onto the accumulation that we have on the ground. Throughout the day on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, a fierce breeze from the northwest early in the day, and that's part of the reason why temperatures are going to be so chilly. Later on in the day, of course, our breeze shifts so it becomes a little more southerly, and that's going to help our Wednesday temperatures climb up just a little more. It won't be quite as bitter outside for Wednesday afternoon. But Wednesday is going to be cloudy, and then in the afternoon and evening, light snowfall is expected to pass on over. Just adding on to what's already on the ground. Tonight we're going with a low of 4 degrees. A flurry possible in the next few hours. Otherwise clear outside and near record cold. We really don't get to forecast for record-breaking cold temperatures that often, so this is something of a note. I know that we live in Wisconsin and we all know how to bundle up, but bundling up this early in the season, it does make it a little bit of an anomaly. Breeze again coming from the northwest. By tomorrow afternoon, high temperatures will just be in the upper teens, so even colder than today, with a little bit more of a breeze to factor in, 6 to 12 miles per hour. With a partly sunny sky, that sunshine will be quite deceptive if you're in the car or sitting right by a window. It might feel pretty decent. It's just not going to be that decent if you're outside. Alert day for Tuesday, Wednesday due to the cold. Wednesday also, we do have that light snow coming on through. For Thursday and Friday, we mostly sunny skies. The temperatures still stay below average as we steadily climb into the 30s. Another opportunity for some flurries will develop on Saturday, and the flurries might mix with a little bit of drizzle on Sunday, since temperatures will climb to the upper 30s. And then heading into next week, finally, will be a little closer to average for Tuesday and Wednesday in the low 40s. That's a quick look at your forecast.
All right, Dana, thank you. It is time for Potentially Yours here on Live at 4.
Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here. Hi, Marissa.
Hi.
Who did you bring today?
We got sweet little Strawberry here.
Strawberry?
And she is only 6 months old.
Ooh, she's going to get a little bigger.
Yep, so she's got quite a bit of growing to do, but she is some sort of maybe lab, shepherdy type of mix, and she came up from an overcrowded shelter down in Alabama. So she is actually loving the snow up here now.
She looks a little concerned.
She has a furrowed brow.
A little shy.
Yep, and that's Strawberry is the absolute sweetest, but you're right. She does take a little bit to warm up to new people, new places.
It didn't take long.
But it really doesn't take long. She was hanging out with me in my office yesterday and a little timid at first, but once she gets comfortable, she is quite the snuggler.
Did she get along with other dogs?
Yep, and we're actually hoping that she could go home to a family with another dog that can kind of help Strawberry build her confidence. She loves other dogs, and when they're leading the way, she feels a lot more brave.
There was a treat in that hand.
Yeah, she can smell it.
What other kinds of things are you looking for a perfect home for her?
You know, because she is 6 months old. I think she would love to go to a family that's interested in doing lots of great training for her. She is so smart, and you can see she takes treats really nice and gently. And also, she's just going to want to run around and play. And she has been loving the snow and the ice, and she just goes bounding around through it. Thinks it's fantastic.
I bet it's a lot of fun. All right, so if you're looking for something for the kids to do over the winter break, you got a great idea.
Yeah, we've got a couple days of Camp Paw Print coming up both in November 21st, December 9th, and then during that winter break time. Kids get to come in, they get to meet a lot of great animals, help take care of them, do some service projects for the shelter, and it's just a really fun time for them.
And it sells out pretty much.
Yep, so those spots do sell out quickly, so you're going to want to get on those quick.
Okay.
All right.
What about our last pet?
Oh, we had another pup 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and he did get adopted. We are so excited for Smokey there.
Smokey.
Oh, that big, handsome face.
He had a big head.
And a big smile.
Yes.
All right, let's get Strawberry a home here. Dennis, I think you're taking her.
I know, and she likes you, Dennis.
All right, go to the website giveshelter.org for information on Strawberry and all the animals available, 838-0413 or giveshelter.org on the internet. Okay, Strawberry, hang in there, baby. Still to come at 4, it's one of medicine's most important tools, the stethoscope.
Unchanged for almost 200 years, new high-tech stethoscopes are hitting the market. We'll find out what makes them better when Live at 4 continues. The sun is setting over the UW-Madison campus. Tonight, at least the water is still open.
Yes, the ice is not formed yet.
If that had happened in November, we'd be really freaking out. Well, any visit to the doctor's office usually includes an exam with a stethoscope.
It's an iconic symbol of medicine, but it may be going away. From kids' checkups to examining the elderly, the stethoscope is a mainstay tool for diagnosis. Doctors say it helps them feel connected to their patients. In 200 years of use, stethoscopes haven't changed that much. Recent studies have shown that doctors sometimes miss heart sounds because of noise or inexperience. Now, new high-tech rivals have some debating if the stethoscope is becoming obsolete.
I'm afraid the old stethoscope is kind of falling on hard times in terms of rigorous training.
Doctors in Chicago are testing digital stethoscopes that connect wirelessly to smartphones, so heart sounds can be seen and heard.
We record the sounds of the heart and upload it to the cloud, where an artificial intelligence algorithm operates on it and tries to tell you, first of all, whether there is a murmur or not. And it now says that a murmur was detected.
The AI analysis is also being tested on a new digital stethoscope equipped with EKG monitoring.
If they can get a better reading using the new technology, great.
Pocket-sized ultrasound devices that connect with smartphones or tablets are another stethoscope competitor. At some medical schools, students are getting hands-on training.
The ultrasound helps incredibly in our ability to take a peek under the skin into the body. We have the ability to use the ultrasound to look at the heart, not just listen to it with a stethoscope. So in looking at the heart, we can see how well the heart squeezes, how well the heart valves move, whether they're moving normally.
Some doctors predict that handheld ultrasound and similar devices will become routine in physical exams within 10 years.
Very good, very healthy.
But not all doctors are ready to hang up their stethoscopes.
I see that I'm going to have my stethoscope in one pocket and my ultrasound machine in the other.
Mixing tradition with innovation to improve medical care. Big steps forward.
That's interesting. I think they'll still wear them, even if they don't use them.
Yeah, it's a crutch, I think. Well, there's more at 4. We're headed to the movies with our Will Loper.
When we come back, we'll find out what Will thinks of 2 new movies, including Last Christmas. That's when Live at 4 continues.
We don't have any accidents to report right now. Looking a little further up north, Merrimack Ferry, of course, still running. The river's still moving along for right now. The final run will be next Monday, so another week, as we do have a van waiting for its trip across the river along the Beltline. If you're waiting for a trip along the eastbound side, we have some delays stretching from Park Street past John Nolan right now, but things do pick up just fine once you get closer to 39 and 90. Overall, westbound looks just okay. A little closer look around Middleton, where we've been seeing some delays. Some side roads took a little longer to get cleared on up, but 14 stretching towards Cross Plains should be fairly smooth. Now around Janesville, also just downtown as more folks hop on the roads. Things get a little more congested, but no major delays right now and no accidents to report throughout the area. That's always a good thing. From Janesville to the Beltline, 27 minutes. Sauk City to Middleton at 16 minutes right now, and Sun Prairie to downtown at 17 minutes. So no major delays even in our drive times. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Here's an eating contest that requires the participants to work for their food. Contestants had to crack stone crab claws and eat them as fast as they could. It's the annual Keys Fisheries Stone Crab Claw Eating Contest being held in Marathon at a rowdy Florida Keys consumption competition. Miami resident 47-year-old Kevin Bombardier was crowned the 2019 champion, cracking 25 stone crab claws and picking the claws completely clean in 14 minutes and 16 seconds.
There's one woman on that table, too. There she is.
There, go at it.
Oh, you! Again.
What do you mean again?
Did you follow me here?
Are elves always so cynical?
Yes, relentlessly. These are dark times.
I'm Tom.
Kate, where are you going?
We're there.
Well, you're not homeless.
No, I volunteer here.
Why didn't you just get Satan tattooed on your forehead?
That was a clip from last Christmas, one of the newest movies to hit theaters.
Is the film worth seeing? Here to let us know what he thinks is our film critic, Will Loper. Did this get you in the spirit, Will?
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. If you're looking for Christmas cheer, this just did not do it. You're going to want to look elsewhere, maybe the snow outside. This is 2 hours spent with an unpleasant character and a lot of things being juggled that just never end up meshing. So Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones plays Kate, an incredibly down-on-her-luck singer who works at a year-round Christmas store and who has no place to live because she refuses to go home to be around her mom, played by Emma Thompson, who is fantastic in the movie. But lucky for her, an extremely optimistic man, played by Henry Golding from Crazy Rich Asians, keeps popping up in her life and keeps trying to make her a better person. Now, for most of the movie, not a whole lot happens. Kate is unpleasant, nice man tries to help, and she keeps being unpleasant. There's a few funny moments, but everything just needs to be either a couple notches funnier or a couple notches better written. Now, without spoiling anything, there are a couple plot developments that feel like they should have been way more emotional than they are. But this is a movie that's just kind of all over the place.
You don't spend 2 hours with an unpleasant person.
No, you don't. It's not even in an entertaining way like Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa. She's just kind of not fun to be around.
But what a cast, and Emma Thompson.
I know, the talent
Emma
behind
Thompson
this.
can't save it.
I know. You would think so. I mean, her character is great. Every time she's on screen, she's hilarious, but it is a small part.
And going from Game of Thrones to this is a jump for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Seeing Daenerys sort of dressed as an elf might be a little, what's going on here?
Too soon.
Yeah.
All right, what's the rating?
I guess 2.5 Christmas Gibbons. One of the strangest items sold at the Christmas shop that she works at.
Christmas Gibbons.
Yeah, I think it should be part of the new 12 Days of Christmas song.
All right, up next, Honey Boy.
Yes, man. She's filling your head full of fear. I pump you full of strength. Because we're on a team, and I know you got what it takes. You're a star, and I know it. That's why I'm here. I'm your cheerleader, honey boy.
So this is the story of the relationship between Shia LaBeouf and his father, or as I like to call it, this is really expensive therapy. Now, the movie kind of messes with your brain in that Shia LaBeouf actually plays his own father in the movie, and then two other actors play Shia at different ages. So we see Shia's early life on Even Stevens, where he lived with his ex-rodeo clown father, who is mentally, physically, and emotionally abusive to Shia. Now, it's 90 minutes with just a really unpleasant person without much payoff at all. This is a movie that exists so Shia could work through his past, but for the rest of us, it doesn't give us the same catharsis since there isn't really a resolution at all. Now, we may be a little more understanding of Shia's strange behavior these past years, The movie itself, I think, is just exists for Shia's benefit.
Completely autobiographical?
Shia wrote the whole thing, and he said everything that happens in the movie are things that happened to him growing up.
So that does probably explain a lot of his weird behavior.
Yeah, we kind of look at him watching all of his movies in a row and his erratic behavior on set. He was just kicked off of the Peanut Butter Falcon and had to go into rehab, and you may sort of understand, looking at his past, this abuse he endured with his dad. It kind of explains it.
Ex-rodeo clown?
Apparently so, yeah. His dad had a bit theatrical flair, too.
Apparently. So what's the rating here?
2.5. Shia LaBeouf's watching all his movies out of 5.
So 2.5ers.
Oh, yes. It wasn't
rough weekend.
It wasn't a good weekend. Maybe next weekend.
What's next week?
We got The Good Liar with Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren.
Well, that should be good. You'd think.
Trey looks good. Stellar cast.
Fingers crossed.
Where can we go wrong?
All right. Thanks, Will.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be right back. Well, hopefully the roads are getting better.
We're hoping so. So, of course, those major arteries, they've been looking good since this morning, but those side roads, it's been a little bit of a game of catch-up, and thankfully now that the snow has stopped, we've been dry for several hours. Hoping things are getting a little better. We're at 19 right now in Madison, so we were close to 21 this afternoon, and we are since just dropping. 18 in Monroe, about 18 also towards Beloit, so very, very cold this evening with a bit of a breeze. So we'll be factoring in those wind chills as temperatures just drop right off my graph.
You can't even see them.
They went away. So that's another sign that we're getting into the colder air. Of course, I've got to update so my graph's even higher because those temps are going to keep going down. Notice our breeze from the northwest in the double digits, which means our wind chill is going to be a factor. Overnight low of 4 tonight. The record low is 7. So we are expected to certainly surpass that for early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, the high, or the record low high, is 16. We're forecasting to climb up to 18 degrees in the afternoon. A nice chilly 18, close to where we're at right now.
4 degrees.
4, with a wind chill from 5 to 15 below zero.
This would be a cold forecast for January or February.
Correct. So again, those people that are saying this is Wisconsin, I have gotten a few, I call them nasty grams. When they pop on up,
Well, quit complaining because it's Wisconsin?
Just quit complaining because it's Wisconsin and we're used to the cold, and it shouldn't be happening this early.
And we're not alone. It's the whole
upper Midwest, even seeing record cold temperatures in South Carolina. They're getting down to the 20s tonight.
Wow.
So yes, this cold is for everybody right now. We're all sharing it.
But moderating later on.
Later on this weekend
Down
and by
the
next week, we'll at least be close to average, which is still the low 40s, but that's a lot better than
We'll take it.
We'll take it for sure.
Thanks, Dana. Tomorrow on Live Before, we'll find out why savoring the good things in life is the key to happiness.
Yes, it's your attitude this time of the year. We'll also share some great beef and pasta recipes from the Wisconsin Beef Council, including one-pot lasagna pasta. That's tomorrow on Live at 4.